It wasn't my decision, obviously, but I had no other choice because during that time there was a war, so I had to leave or get killed.
Nothing very much to really say before war. I mean, like, it's just really normal life like everybody else will live. I mean, it's just like was normal life like here. And we really had really like, how am I gonna say that? A really freedom. You know, we was like communist country, but we really nothing close to Russia.
1974, Tito, the former president of Yugoslavia, gave us more rights so we can go to school. We can use our flag, language and everything. So we were kind of like we had more rights at that time. But after he died, 1980, then that's where the Yugoslavia started kind of like shaking a little bit. So on 1989, there was this guy who came in power and he became a president of Yugoslavia at that time. And his name was Milosevic, Slobodan Milosevic. And he tried to make it greater Serbia. He said that Serbs are the greatest, then other nations don't deserve that.
Changed really everything. You know, he didn't right away, but slowly, like, you know, like no jobs, like, you know, you're finishing school, no jobs, people like who had jobs, losing jobs, trying to put his people in position, people who has no education. After war is just totally different life right now. You know, when war broke up in 1992, it was totally different. You know, they tried to kind of divide it like one country, like used to be like former, you know, Yugoslavia, and was like, you know, one country. Now, like, you know, and was so many republics around, and now every republic is country. He hold up everything, like, and I think everybody was happy with him, no matter if he Bosnian or Serbian or Croatian. Everybody liked him because he know how to handle situation, you know, and he had that power. Like everybody kind of listens to him. But when somebody to, you know, be on that position like Milosevic, nobody really, even your own people don't listen because they know you don't deserve for that.
In the end of 1998 till March 1999, there was kind of like, it wasn't that much fighting because according to the Serbian government at that time and KLA, they kind of agreed to ceasefire for a while. So there was an international community who came in to watch the ceasefire. But obviously Serbs again broke that promise and they start killing people. So finally the international community said this has to stop. That's the end. Because they saw what happened in Bosnia before, they learned the lesson. So they didn't want another Bosnia again. NATO took an action against the Milosevic's army and police. So they started to strike them. So that was a big turn in our hope and in our future. You know, like okay, that's the end of the war, and let's hope for a better future after this. Even while US always wanted to help us, like even like before 1999, but because Russia didn't agree and China as well, so they had to have like 5 votes in, if I'm correct, in what do you call it, the United Nations Council, or so that's why they couldn't get until everybody saw what Serbia did to the people. My people, most of them are Muslim, so the rest of the world, they didn't really, they don't want another Muslim country in Europe. It's sad to say that, but they don't want another country in Europe to be Muslim. So that's why they didn't really, that was the most misunderstanding. Even why we look the same, you know, just because we believe different doesn't make us different from you or other people. We're human beings. So that's what everybody thought that was the most misunderstanding from other nations in Europe.
They put so many people in concentration camp, whatever they couldn't put in concentration camp, they killed. And like, you know, when they put them in concentration camp, after that they was killing. Like, oh, okay, whatever, I have a bad day where I'm drunk, oh, let's kill 20, let's kill 10. Because in our city, they had 3 concentration camps, and one concentration camp was 7,000 people. Only 500 get out. Everything else been killed.
We got stuck in a border for 5 days because Macedonian government didn't let us go in. We were afraid to go back because of the Serbian army was right behind us. So we got stuck in there, and there was hell, if I can say the word, because I don't know if hell is different from that life that we live there. They created camps for us out of the country.
It was hardest thing when they put us, me and my husband, aunt, and her cousin. They locked us in the house, and they took her to other house next door. You know, my husband, aunt has house and her best friend next to each other. And they locked us in that house, and they took her to her house and raped her over there. And we was just listening everything. And we jumped from the 2nd story house. And, you know, I was pregnant with my second at that time. And we stayed like, we run, and they was like, you know, shooting us with guns, you know, like, you know, like anything moves, they shoot, they have snipers and everything else, you know, because, you know, they took guys to concentration camp or killed them, and they know only ladies left, nobody else, and they can do whatever they want to do.
The scariest moment was on 1998 when we had to leave. It was morning, and we had the army just start shooting everywhere, bombing our village where my family and other people lived. And the army was just like almost right there. You could hear bullets going through your head. So many times we had to go to the ground because the bullets were just like going over your head. But we were so fortunate to live through it. I have no idea how we lived it, because in that situation you're like, oh my God, you know, like, because they were kept shooting and bombing everywhere.
Because you see a lot when I was in refugee camp, like, you know, help's coming, but like help disappear. I think start to kill people for no reason, really. I understand, you know, you can be angry or killing somebody or like for something, but like, you know, this is just like for really out of nowhere, killing somebody for no reason. Just like, I think these people need to learn. It will take them a long time, I think. You know, in a situation when I go back home and I see like nobody really fighting, but they still have their fuss about something and they don't know what they're fussing about, but it's just something there. Or maybe they're angry because they didn't go their way how they want it, or I really don't know.
Even before war started, I always wanted to come to USA, always. During that time when I was in a camp, I didn't even ask to come to USA because I thought it's impossible. If I go to USA, I can find a job, I'll go to school or do something so I can help myself and help my family. Because after war, everything is destroyed, so we had to rebuild everything. So I said, I'm gonna take that chance and go.
Is anywhere we can go somewhere else? I said, what America offering? She says, oh, job. And I said, I want to go somewhere who offers jobs. I don't want to go somewhere who doesn't offer a job. He had some friend. She was working in children's hospital and had a guy who was like some pastor in church in Bellevue, and he told him about that story, and finally they came to visit us and they said, do you guys want us to sponsor you guys? What you guys expecting here? And we just told them, we need to go to school, we need to learn language, that's what we need. We need to go, you know, doctor checkups and all that kind of stuff. And finally they took over and kind of helped us out, find jobs, and, you know, that kind of was better. But I said I really never want to live there again. It's nothing there I could like, because it's nothing sane. When something bad happened to you, it's just not that easy to erase from your head. You know, it just stays with you. It completely changed you. I mean, completely change your, I don't know, just view on life and everything else. It's just, And I think that's what people will remember.
People were asking, don't you want to go to Texas? And he said, because there are guns, there are like people like probably fight, because in our back home we watch movies with the cowboys and stuff, so we see Texas like a dangerous place to live and stay.